To all global villagers, welcome to China.
China number one.
Have you ever visited a city just for a museum? I have. Last month, I took my parents on a trip to Shaanxi province. Everyone knows about Xi'an, but have you ever visited Yulin? We didn't see any other foreigners there, and judging from the reactions of locals, perhaps they hadn't either. But Yulin is special. It's home to one of the best museums I've ever been to, and one that when I first heard of it, I knew I simply had to take my parents to. Shaanbei Folk Music Museum. It only opened in 2018, and outside of China I couldn't find a single review of the museum, so I didn't really know what to expect. But my parents are both musicians. In fact, they both studied music at university, and in recent years, my dad even did a master's degree in world music, specialising in folk music, so I decided it must be worth a visit. Before visiting, my knowledge of Shaanbei folk music was limited to Chapter 2 of Black Myth Wukong, which in itself was a pretty special first introduction. I did actually see the performer mentioned in the museum. But what really fascinated me was that this specific style of Shaanbei rap was in fact originally performed by blind people. The museum itself was completely free, so we booked a Chinese guide for 190 renminbi. But this wasn't just a simple tour guide, oh no. For just 190 renminbi for our group of 4, we were treated to more than 10 different short performances of Shaanbei folk music. All showcasing unique styles and themes, and at points, even our tour guide herself joined in to sing. Many of the performers were even accredited folk musicians themselves, with works that were also on show in the museum. And if you somehow still don't think that this is good value, then bear in mind that one of these tours can host up to 30 people. That's less than 7 renminbi per person. Although the tour was in Chinese, a lot of the museum exhibits had English explanations alongside the Chinese, and my wife and I translated some of the tour guide's information too, so my parents certainly didn't miss out. Thankfully, music is unique in that it transcends language barriers, so my parents didn't need to understand the lyrics to appreciate these special performances. In fact, I remember them saying, "Nowhere does museums quite like China." And upon finishing the tour, and enjoying our final performance, my dad mentioned that he'd never been to a museum quite like this. Now this is high praise coming from my parents, because they are frequent museum goers and have even visited folk music museums all over the world, but this museum truly blew them away. Shaanbei folk music encompasses a collection of cultural and tangible heritage, and the music has played a huge role in people's lives for thousands of years. From farmers to boatmen, to miners to traders, people in all walks of life have expressed themselves through music in this region. It is a real privilege to visit a museum that has taken such painstaking efforts to collect, protect, and pass down this culture to future generations, and both my parents and I were deeply moved by these efforts. Upon leaving, we almost felt a little remorseful that there was nothing like this in the UK. And as a result, our traditional folk music is already declining, to the point that many people don't even know of its existence. I'm lucky to be able to take my parents to experience new things, and I'm eternally thankful that China has so much to offer. This must be the 4th or 5th time I've taken them travelling in China now, and it never disappoints. So next time you're planning on visiting Shaanxi, or if you're a music lover, then you must consider Yulin, because the Shaanbei Folk Museum is a truly special museum, and I don't believe there's anything like it in the world.